Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you went there? Or maybe you found yourself searching for your glasses, only to realize they're sitting right on top of your head. It happens to the best of us, but as we get older, those little lapses can feel more frustrating, even a bit worrying. You might start wondering, is this just normal aging or am I losing my memory? Here's the good news. Your brain is still very much alive and capable of growing, changing, and improving, no matter your age. The old belief that memory simply fades away after 60 isn't the full story. Science now shows that the brain can create new connections and even strengthen old ones if you give the right kind of daily nourishment. Not just with food, but with habits that challenge, calm, and awaken the mind. That's what we're going to talk about today. Simple, practical things you can do every day to keep your memory sharp, your mind clear, and your confidence strong. Because memory isn't just about remembering facts or faces. It's about staying connected to who you are, to the people you love, and to the world around you. And that connection, when protected, can make your golden years feel vibrant and full again. Let's start with something you might not expect, your morning routine. Many people over 60 fall into the same rhythm each morning. Wake up, make tea or coffee, maybe check the news, and move on autopilot through the day. But the truth is, your brain loves novelty. It's wired to wake up when something feels new, when you're learning or experiencing even the smallest change. Think about the first time you traveled somewhere unfamiliar. How alert you felt, how vividly you remember the sights and smells. That's your hippocampus at work, the part of your brain that forms memories. When you do something new, even something tiny like brushing your teeth with your non-dominant hand, your brain sparks into activity. Those sparks build new neural connections, keeping your mind flexible and sharp. So, one simple daily habit that can improve your memory is to surprise your brain. Take a different route on your walk. Rearrange the furniture. Try a new recipe. Play a song you've never heard before and really listen to the lyrics. It's not about making big changes. It's about giving your brain reasons to pay attention. Every time you break your routine, you're giving your memory a little workout. And speaking of workouts, let's talk about the one people often overlook, movement. Physical exercise might sound like advice for your body, not your brain, but the two are inseparable. When you move your body, you send oxygen-rich blood flowing to your brain, especially to the parts responsible for memory and focus. Scientists have even found that regular physical activity can increase the size of the hippocampus, the same part that helps you form and recall memories. You don't have to run marathons or lift heavy weights. Even a gentle daily walk, a short stretch session, or dancing to your favorite old song can make a big difference. What matters most is consistency, moving every day in a way that gets your heart pumping just a little faster than usual. One man I know, 72 years old, started taking 20-minute walks every morning after breakfast. At first, he said it was just to get the legs moving. But a few months later, he noticed something else. He was remembering names more easily, recalling old stories more clearly, and even sleeping better. That's no coincidence. Movement wakes up the mind as much as the muscles. And here's a secret. If you combine physical movement with something that also engages your mind, like learning a new dance routine, practicing Tai Chi, or walking while listening to an audiobook, you double the benefit. Your brain gets a mental and physical workout at the same time, reinforcing those memory-boosting pathways. Now, let's talk about another daily habit that many people underestimate: paying attention to what you feed your brain. And I'm not just talking about information or entertainment. I mean literal fuel, the food you eat. Your brain runs on energy, and it's one of the hungriest organs in your body. What you eat directly affects how well it functions. You probably heard of brain foods, and for good reason. Foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids, like salmon or flaxseed, help keep brain cells healthy. Leafy greens, berries, and nuts are packed with antioxidants that protect your brain from the wear and tear of aging. But here's something most people don't realize. Hydration plays a huge role in memory too. Even mild dehydration can make you feel foggy or forgetful. So before you jump to conclusions about your memory, check if your brain simply needs more water. Keep a glass nearby throughout the day, and make sipping part of your routine. One simple meal idea that combines all of this: a breakfast of oatmeal topped with blueberries and walnuts, and a cup of green tea. That combination supports both focus and recall, giving your brain the nourishment it needs to perform at its best. It's also worth mentioning that what you avoid is just as important as what you include. Too much processed sugar or refined carbs can lead to energy crashes and inflammation, both of which affect mental clarity. You don't have to cut out every sweet treat, but being mindful of balance helps your brain stay steady throughout the day. There's a saying I love: the brain eats what the body eats. Treat your body kindly, and your memory will thank you. So, as we move forward, think about these small daily moments, the choices you make when you wake up, how you move, what you eat. They might seem ordinary, but together they form a foundation of how your brain ages. The beautiful part? It's never too late to start. Even at 60, 70, or beyond, your brain is waiting for you to give it a reason to grow. It doesn't need perfection. It just needs attention. Every new step, every small challenge, every mindful bite adds up to a stronger, more resilient memory. Now that we've explored how novelty, movement, and nourishment can awaken the mind, let's continue by looking at a few other daily habits that can protect and even restore your memory. The kind of simple shifts that can make you feel sharper, calmer, and more confident in the days ahead. Have you ever noticed how your mind feels clearer after a good night's sleep? It's not just your imagination. During sleep, your brain performs one of its most important jobs. It cleans itself. Think of it like a night crew sweeping up after a busy day, clearing away the clutter so you can wake up refreshed. When we're awake, our brain cells are busy communicating, producing all sorts of byproducts like mental dust. And when we sleep, especially during deep sleep, the brain's cleaning system, called the glymphatic system, washes away these toxins. It's the body's natural reset button for memory and clarity. But here's the thing. As we get older, many of us start sleeping less deeply. Maybe we wake up during the night or have trouble falling asleep in the first place. The result? The brain doesn't get enough time to do its nightly cleaning. Over time, that can make it harder to concentrate or recall things. So if you want to protect your memory, one of the best daily habits you can develop is to respect your sleep. Not just getting enough hours, but creating an environment that welcomes rest. Try dimming the lights an hour before bed. Avoid watching stressful news or scrolling through your phone. Those bright screens tell your brain it's still daytime. Instead, do something calming and consistent. Some people find comfort in soft music, others in reading a few pages of a book or sipping warm herbal tea. What matters is building a routine your body recognizes as a signal. It's time to wind down. That predictability helps your internal clock align with rest. And here's something you might not expect. Daylight is part of the equation too. Getting at least 15 to 20 minutes of natural light in the morning helps reset your body's sleep rhythm, making it easier to rest at night. So, when you wake up, step outside for a bit. Feel the light on your face. It's a small act that tells your brain, this is morning, helping your sleep stay in sync later on. When you start sleeping more deeply, you might notice subtle shifts. Names come to you more easily, your focus feels steadier, and even your mood lifts. That's your brain thanking you for giving it the chance to recharge. Now, let's move from sleep to something that often gets overlooked in discussions about memory: emotional balance. You see, the brain and emotions are deeply intertwined. When you feel anxious, lonely, or overwhelmed, your body releases stress hormones like cortisol. In small doses, that's normal. But when stress becomes constant, it interferes with how your brain stores and retrieves memories. It's like trying to file documents in an office when the lights are flickering and papers are flying everywhere. Chaos makes it harder to focus. That's why one of the most powerful daily habits for improving memory is to practice calm. Not the kind that requires sitting in silence for hours, but simple moments of stillness where your mind can breathe. Try this. When you wake up, before checking your phone or turning on the TV, close your eyes and take 5 slow, deep breaths. Feel your chest rise and fall. Notice the air moving through your nose. It sounds small, but it's a signal to your nervous system. You're safe. You can relax. You can do the same thing throughout the day. maybe while waiting for kettle to boil or sitting on your porch. Over time, these small moments of calm reduce stress levels and help your brain store information more efficiently. It's almost like polishing the surface of your mind so it reflects more clearly. And here's something beautiful. Gratitude and calm often go hand in hand. When you take a moment each day to recall something you're thankful for, a friend's kindness, a warm meal, a memory from long ago, you activate parts of your brain linked to joy and learning. Studies show that people who practice gratitude regularly tend to have better sleep, lower stress, and sharper mental focus. So maybe tonight before bed, think of 3 simple things you're grateful for. Say them out loud if you like. Let that warmth settle in you. It's not just good for your heart, it's nourishment for your memory, too. Now, let's talk about something even more surprising: the power of connection. Human beings are social creatures, and the brain thrives on interaction. When you talk with others, share stories, laugh, or simply listen, you're exercising multiple brain areas at once. Language, emotion, memory, attention, they all light up together. It's a full-body workout for your mind. That's why loneliness can be so harmful for memory, especially in later years. It's not just about feeling sad or isolated. It's about your brain not getting enough mental nutrition. Conversations, even small ones, keep those neural circuits alive and active. You don't need to be surrounded by crowds or attend big events. Sometimes the simplest connections are the most meaningful. Chatting with a neighbor, calling an old friend, or even greeting someone during your morning walk. Each of those moments tells your brain, I'm part of something. And that feeling strengthens not only memory, but also resilience. There's a woman I met once, 68 years old, who joined a local gardening club after her husband passed away. At first, she said she felt nervous, even a bit lost. But as the weeks went on, she began to notice something. She was remembering the names of plants more easily, recalling the stories her new friends shared, even feeling more creative in her daily life. She told me, it's like my mind woke up again. That's the power of connection. It gives your memories something to care about. If getting out and meeting people feels difficult, start small. Maybe join a group online that shares one of your hobbies, or attend a local class or community event. Even short, regular interactions help keep your brain engaged. So far, we've looked at how rest, calm, and connection can renew your mind from the inside out. Together, they form a kind of invisible support system for your memory, one that works quietly, day after day, strengthening the pathways that help you think clearly and recall with ease. Because memory isn't built just in your head, it's built in your life. How you rest, how you breathe, how you connect. And as you begin to nurture those daily moments, you may notice something subtle yet profound. Your mind starts to feel lighter, sharper, more alive. The fog begins to lift, not because of magic, but because you're giving your brain exactly what it needs: balance. Now that we've explored how rest, emotional calm, and human connection can strengthen your memory from within, let's continue with the final part, where we'll uncover the most powerful daily practice of all, one that can truly transform how your brain ages and how vibrant your days feel. There's a quiet moment that happens sometimes, usually in the middle of an ordinary day, maybe while you're making tea or folding laundry, when a name or a memory floats into your mind out of nowhere. You didn't force it, you didn't try to remember. It just surfaced, easy and clear. That's your brain working beautifully, almost effortlessly. And believe it or not, you can make those moments happen more often by giving your mind something it loves. Challenge. Our brains are a bit like muscles. When we stop using them in new and interesting ways, they get comfortable, and comfort can slowly turn into decline. The good news? The opposite is also true. Every time you learn something new, or even just do something familiar in a slightly different way, your brain builds new connections. Scientists call this neuroplasticity, but you can think of it as your brain's way of staying young. So, one of the most powerful daily habits for improving memory after 60 is to keep your mind curious. That doesn't mean you have to start studying calculus or memorizing poetry, though if you want to, why not? It can be as simple as learning a new recipe, playing a musical instrument you've always loved, or try to remember a new route during your morning walk. Imagine this. Instead of driving the same road to the grocery store every time, you take a different turn, pay attention to the street names, and notice the houses along the way. You're not just breaking a routine, you're lighting up your brain's navigation and memory centers. It's like flipping on a set of lights that have been dim for years. Or perhaps you decide to start learning a few words of another language. Even if it's just 5 minutes a day, your brain begins to stretch, forming fresh pathways. Studies have shown that bilingual people often retain stronger memory skills later in life, not because of the language itself, but because their brains are constantly switching, adapting, and growing. The secret is consistency, not complexity. It's about giving your mind something to chew on every day, a small puzzle, a new song, a different kind of reading material. You might be surprised how alive your mind feels once you start feeding it novelty. And here's something even more powerful: movement. The link between your body and memory is stronger than most people realize. When you move your body, you increase blood flow to the brain, delivering oxygen and nutrients that support its health. Exercise also stimulates the release of growth factors, chemicals that help brain cells repair and connect with each other. You don't need to spend hours at the gym. In fact, walking is one of the simplest and most effective brain-boosting activities you can do. Just 20 or 30 minutes a day can make a difference. While you walk, try to stay aware of your surroundings, the rhythm of your steps, the feeling of air on your skin, the sound of birds or passing cars. This mindful awareness engages your senses, which in turn sharpens memory formation. Some people like to combine walking with conversation, what scientists call dual tasking. It's fantastic for memory because it challenges both your body and your mind at once. So, if you can take a stroll with a friend or a loved one and chat about old stories or current events, your brain will love the mix of movement and meaning. And don't forget balance, literally. Activities like gentle yoga, tai chi, or even standing on one leg while brushing your teeth help train your brain's coordination centers. Those areas are closely tied to focus and recall. Keeping your body balanced helps keep your mind balanced, too. Another small daily habit that makes a big difference for memory is hydration. The brain is made up of about 75% water, and even mild dehydration can affect your focus and recall. Many people mistake thirst for fatigue or brain fog. So, start your day with a glass of water, keep a bottle nearby, and drink before you feel thirsty. Your brain will thank you in clarity. But perhaps the most profound memory practice of all, and one that too often gets overlooked, is joy. Yes, joy itself is a mental exercise. When you do something that makes you genuinely happy, painting, dancing, gardening, playing with your grandkids, even laughing at an old comedy show, your brain releases chemicals like dopamine and serotonin. These aren't just feel-good hormones. They're essential for learning and long-term memory. Think of it this way. Your brain tags happy moments with a little extra sparkle, making them easier to recall later. That's why you can still remember the way your first home smelled, or the laughter you shared on a summer night decades ago. Joy imprints memory more deeply than repetition ever could. So, don't underestimate the power of happiness as a form of daily brain care. Make time for it, not as a luxury, but as nourishment. Sing while you cook. Dance a little when your favorite song comes on. Laugh with people who make you feel lighter. Each joyful moment is like a drop of light soaking into your memory. As you begin to put these habits together, rest, calm, connection, curiosity, movement, hydration, and joy, something wonderful starts to happen. You begin to notice that your mind feels steadier, your recall sharper, your confidence stronger. The small things that used to slip away, a name, a thought, a detail, start returning more easily. And even when they don't, you no longer feel that frustration or fear that used to come with forgetfulness. Because now you understand, memory isn't just about what you remember, it's about how you live. The truth is, your brain isn't fading, it's waiting for you to give it what it needs. It's never too late to teach it new tricks, to rebuild its strength, to rediscover its joy. Every day offers a chance to renew it, to sharpen it, to make it more alive. So tonight, before you go to bed, take a deep breath and remind yourself, your brain is your lifelong companion. It has carried you through decades of laughter, love, and lessons. Treat it with kindness. Feed it with curiosity. Calm it with peace. Move it with purpose. And fill it always with joy. Remember, small changes done daily can transform your memory and your life. Not in a day or a week, but gently, quietly, like sunlight growing through a window each morning. And if this message touched you, share it with someone who might need it. Leave a comment below about one small thing you'll start doing for your memory today. Maybe a new hobby, a walk, a moment of stillness. If you found this helpful, give the video a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more gentle, uplifting tips on living your best, healthiest, and happiest life at any age. Here's to a clearer mind, a lighter heart, and the beautiful truth that it's never too late to grow young again.